All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for your patience. We are in a new, bigger space this year, which is very exciting for us as we have 27 recruits. So we had a little bit of adjustment, but we are excited to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm first going to welcome in all WSPD and sworn personnel, and they may walk in now. Good morning. I am Annie Sims. I'm excited to welcome all of you as we gather to celebrate the graduation of Winston-Salem Police Academy Class 79. Please rise as the recruits from the Winston-Salem Police Department's 79th Academy enter the room, along with the WSPD training staff. Please remain standing as the WSPD's Honor Guard presents our national colors and for the singing of the national anthem by Senior Office Assistant Barbara Williams. During the singing of the national anthem, it is the protocol of the Winston-Salem Police Department that sworn law enforcement officers and professional staff place their right hand over their hearts. We would be honored if you joined us appropriately.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, in the home of the brave.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Please be seated. Before we begin, join me in a moment of silence for a time of invocation or reflection led by Chaplain Ronnie Beatty.
Thank you. May we pray. Our Father, we're so honored today that we can assemble here in thanksgiving to the Winston-Salem Police Department. We thank you for our chief, the command staff, all of the men and women who daily protect this city. We realize each day they put their lives on the line for the population of the city of Winston-Salem. We realize they stand between good and evil, light and darkness. And we would hate to think what our city would be without them. We're grateful for those who have given many years here for the protection of the city, many of them headed towards the retirement years, some of them approaching the halfway point. And then these today who are beginning their tenure officially with the Winston-Salem Police Department. And we pray your blessings upon them. Give them wisdom as they continue in their training. We ask, Lord, that you would help them to be successful. Bless their families who have given their support to their tenure here. And Lord, as always, it is our most intense prayer that at the close of every shift, these men and women may be able to go home safely to their families. We ask you to bless the proceedings today. May you be honored in all that's said and done. And we'll thank you for it, because we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
On February 19th, the 79th Winston-Salem Police Academy embarked on a journey, and the men and women who sit before you began their venture to become Winston-Salem Police Department officers. Over the past weeks, they faced challenges, tackled difficulties, and reached incredible accomplishments. And now we have 27 exceptional individuals who have completed this mission, ready to start a new chapter filled with public service and education, and dedication as well. Let's give them a big round of applause. I would like to take this moment to acknowledge our special guests in attendance today. Could the mayor and any city council members please rise at this time? Thank you. We would also like to recognize our city manager and assistant city managers present. Would you all please stand? Additionally, if there are any representatives from other public safety agencies within or outside the city of Winston-Salem, please stand to be recognized. We have the Chief of Fire Department, the head of our emergency services, and also U.S. Marshal Thompson present. So please stand so we can recognize you. To all our special guests, including the friends and family who have supported these recruits on their journey, thank you for sharing this special moment with us. The City of Winston-Salem is guided by an 8-member council led by Mayor Alan Joines. With 30 years of service, Mayor Joines retired as Deputy City Manager in 2000 and was first elected mayor in 2001. He is now serving his 5th term. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Alan Joines to the stage for opening remarks.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. To my colleagues on the City Council, Councilmember McIntosh, Councilmember Scipio, and Councilmember Mundy, to the other members of the dais here, all the family and friends that are here today, but most importantly, to the graduates of Class 89. We're glad to have you. I can tell you that for sure. I know the Chief is, and the other members of the department. I believe this is the largest graduating class since 2020. We need to have about 5 more of these largest graduating classes, but we know you all have stepped up. You've agreed to put your life on the line for the citizens of Winston-Salem. You know, the provision of public safety is one of the most important things that a local government can do. We have a lot of responsibilities as a city our size with 254,000 people here, but keeping our citizens safe, in my opinion, has got to be the most important thing that we do, between the police department and our great fire department as well. You know, the call to public service is sometimes loud and sometimes it's quiet. You all, in your own way, decided to make that step. You know, our role as elected officials, I'm sure my colleagues would agree, is to make sure you have the equipment, the training, and resources you need to do a good job and do the job that you need, and a safe job. The other part of it is make sure you're paid appropriately. And we think we've made great strides in that, and I hope you're feeling that way as well. So on behalf of the City of Winston-Salem and all of our citizens, I say thank you. I say thank you to the families that are here today that have supported you through this long training program and will continue to be there with you as you go through your career. So again, welcome to the City of Winston-Salem. We are delighted to have you.
Thank you, Mayor Joines. Regretfully, Mayor Pro Tem Denise D. Adams was unable to join us for the ceremony today. However, she has asked that I convey her deepest appreciation for the accomplishments of the graduating class and thanks you all for the service you are preparing to give the citizens of our city. Councilmember James Taylor was also unable to be here today, so I have the pleasure of welcoming up our keynote speaker. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background. Spencer Baird is the CEO of Inmar Intelligence, joining the company in May of 2020 as Chief Transformation Officer. He became CEO in September 2022. With over 20 years of experience in grocery retail, e-commerce, and consumer packaged goods, Spencer brings a unique vision focused on innovation and making businesses smarter. Under his leadership, Inmar has undergone significant changes, emphasizing organic growth and customer-centric strategies. Spencer's expertise has helped reposition Inmar to over-deliver on customer expectations. He has worked with industry giants like H.J. Heinz, the Dannon Company, Kellogg, and more. And Spencer is also a board member of the Winston-Salem Alliance and Piedmont Tribe Partnership. He holds a bachelor's degree from Virginia Wesleyan University and was named a 2023 Emerging Leader by the Shelby Report and a 2023 C-Suite Award honoree by Triad Business Journals. Please welcome Spencer Baird.
Good morning. Wow. They said, hey, do you want to stand behind the podium or do you kind of wander? I said, no, I wander all over the place. So forgive me today. My energy could not be any higher. I feel both privileged and also challenged this morning. Privilege is I have a chance to address all of you and your family at such a remarkable moment in your lives. The challenge is, what do you say? Because you're going to hear about 1% of this, right? So I have some very, very specific messages to drive today. But as you heard all of that background and that intro this morning, and if you guys will cut to the slides, that would be great. On the first slide, I want you guys to look in the bottom left-hand corner and look at the way I've listed out my title. I want to be known as a tremendous dad. I want to be known as a tremendous husband. And then maybe moonlight as a pretty good CEO. I am a member of your community. This business that I'm responsible for and have the privilege of running today in Winston-Salem started as zero in revenue and has grown to $1 billion in revenue. And the beautiful thing about this technology company is that when we are winning, that means the world is doing much better than it was before. We saved Americans $1 billion times 10, almost $10 billion last year at registers all across the country. We saved the earth 250 million pounds of waste. You guys will like this. We kept almost 1 billion doses of controlled substances out of the hands of bad guys and future addicts. We grew up right here in Winston-Salem. My wife and I, with our kids, we fled from Chicago, didn't misspeak, we fled from Chicago in 2020 during the pandemic. My wife said 3 months in the magic words, which is, I feel like we're still on vacation. We are so proud to be here and a part of this community, and I'm proud to speak with you all this morning. I've been somebody that studies for my entire life, my entire career, exceptional performers. I define exceptional as those that are willing themselves to be exceptions. That's what you guys are, 27 of you. I saw the pictures as I was sitting out there today of you guys going that extra mile. I saw a lot of sweat on your shirts. You guys can relate with this. I thought a great message for you and your family today would be the answer to a question that is, what have you found in your 22 years of leadership that are the separating qualities of the truly exceptional and those that are pretty average, okay? For all of us here that are becoming more and more technologically savvy, you all know that if you want to see what average is or what the average answer is, all you have to do is open up ChatGPT and type in your question. All those services do is they source from the average. I wanted to give you the 1% view of this today. And if you'll go to the next slide, it is my belief that, and my conclusion that, the thing that really separates exceptional people is not having all the answers. It's having really, really consistently well thought through questions. So I wanted to highlight for you all today some of those questions I've found to be the separating factors for the really extraordinarily successful and those people that are average, okay? So first, how do I connect my purpose, my individual purpose, with what it is that I'm responsible for on a day in, day out basis, okay? I can tell you from what I know of what you do, which is about this much, we benefit from you and your courage, but I know the day in and day out about this much. I can tell you this, that I don't think any of your purpose here today has to do with a metric like crime rate percent. But your purpose would very nicely connect with, I'm here to protect and secure the well-being of people all across this great community. That is something we all grew up thinking about, dreaming about, and aspiring towards. So this first question, I believe, is a separating factor, and the more frequently you can dial in what it is that's your purpose with the purpose of the mission of the organization that you're a part of, it makes you both more productive, it makes you a better teammate, and it makes you a heck of a lot happier when you go home to these beautiful families of yours and some of these kids that are excited to be here today as well. Next question. Before I jump to a solution, I need to spend more time on the root issue. You will find the other 99%, which is not you, but the other 99% that wants to give you feedback every day and tell you what they would do, are not going to spend their time on categorizing the problem. They're going to spend their time on the actual solution itself. This is what I call what about syndrome. You know, have we ever thought about, or what if we, but listen, those that are most misunderstood in this world, okay, these people that are exceptional, that are incredibly lonely because the world doesn't understand them, oftentimes have really simple tactics that address problems that nobody sees. And you guys are going to be interacting with problems on a day in and day out, 24/7 basis, and they're real legit problems, right? Understanding and asking yourself and asking others, what's the real categorical problem here? That's a separating factor of really successful people. Next slide. How do I reduce anxiety and worry by spending more time in the present rather than thinking about what has or what will happen? We don't have time this morning, true. But if we did, I would ask everybody in here to pull out a piece of paper and write down something that you're worried about. And what you write down on that paper will all have one thing in common, and only one thing. That is, it is either something that did or something that will happen. That's the root of anxiety. What if she, or what if they, or what happens if I'm not? These are the questions, right, that drive the most anxiety. There is no anxiety right here in this moment. None. What I have found as a gift to all of you is tremendous appreciation and gratitude in this very moment, which is what we should all be. I like to say the other 99% of this world that we're in today is really good. But our phones just don't like to remind us of that, right? Because they're in the business of click and dwell. So you guys operating in that 99% that is good and really being present in the moment is something that's important to me, and to me, that's a separating factor of really successful people. Mental health is a real crisis in this country. I would argue it's right up there at the top of the top, right? I drive on 4th Street every day. You guys are going to be driving on 4th Street every day. I see the consequence of poor mental health. It's a real epidemic. We are doing things in our company to address it proactively and also providing reactive resources for those that we're responsible for. But I can tell you that I would start, all of you, by really appreciating the present moment. There's great gifts within. If you go to the next slide, please. This, to me, is the most important question of them all. Yes, anxiety reduction matters. And yes, these other things I've talked about matter quite a bit. This, to me, is the top of the top, which is, I don't care if it's an everyday, ordinary, average thing that you're doing or something that's extraordinary that you're going to remember and tell Chief Penn about someday as a big marker of your success. If you are constantly and consistently asking this question, how do we do it even better next time? You will be in the absolute 1% category. Myself, my leadership team spent a lot of time with the founders of Top Gun, which is one of the most elite military organizations, if not the most elite in the world. They spend 2 times longer, 2 times more on the debrief than they do on the brief. And they will break down everything that moves to find an even better way to do it next time. Here's what I've also found about exceptional people that consistently ask this question. They are better teammates. They're better teammates. You know why? Because they celebrate what is, they celebrate the progress, and they're asking a brother or a sister, how do we do it even better next time? And together they can go do bigger things. And we all know, you all know, that there is nothing of significance in this life if not for doing it with other people. Next slide. Last but not least, the very successful people that I've been around have a metric that most people don't understand. There's a common theme here. And that question is not, what's my percent change versus year ago, which, by the way, the world cares so much about, or at least the news services do. They care about a metric that is percent change versus yesterday. And it doesn't matter if it's 1% or 5% or even 0.5%, or maybe you had a bad day and it was about flat. But those people that ask and answer, how can I do it even better, care about this metric right here. I welcome you to the Lonely Club, everybody. With more frequency asking these types of questions, you will be less understood in this world. You have announced through 7 months of hard work, and then prior to that, and all that you've been through, and the 6 people that you saluted on the way out that couldn't make it all the way through, that you want to be that type of exception, right? You're already there. And because you are willing to do that, you're willing to be this exception and this person that's particularly misunderstood in this world. But if you're unified by and constantly connecting your purpose to the purpose of the department, the agency, and if you're asking these 1 and 2 and 5 and 10% questions better than yesterday, and if you go to the next slide, you can remember this formula right here, which is that purpose times that courage that you all have, and you're uniquely qualified because of. And the focus that you bring, that is what drives the impact that we all want to be able to talk about when we have our retirement parties and our family and loved ones come up. And we talk about 30 years of a life well lived, when we were doing the stuff that was secondarily most important, which is time with my peers, obviously the most primary being time with my family. I felt so privileged to be able to speak with you all this morning. I could go on, trust me, for the next 2 hours. I won't. But what's bolded there in yellow, and it was the only thing that was in yellow in this whole presentation, is my sincere thanks, and the thanks from my son and my daughter and my wife and this entire community, to say that those that you join and the special that is the result of the new leadership direction that's been established by Chief and his great leadership team puts this city in great hands, yes, and it puts this city on a path to become an exception, which is an extension on top of what it already is, and all the humility and all that makes it great. And we welcome you and we thank you for the improvement that you will be focused on behalf of a mission that is securing the hope and the well-being of this entire community. You have my support. You have the community leaders' support in your mission to take your purpose, connect it with the mission of the overall department, and make us all incredibly proud to be members of this community and supporters of yours. Thank you all for the time this morning and giving me an opportunity to address you all. What a privilege it is to be here with you and your family members. Incredibly, incredibly special moment. And my guess is one that you'll never forget. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Baird. Actually, I'm going to have you come back up here because Chief William Penn will now present Mr. Baird a token of appreciation. So both of you can come back up for just 1 second. Yep, we're going to have you stand right here.
Good morning. So, on behalf of the men and women of the Winston-Salem Police Department, we are so grateful to you, Spencer, for coming and being our keynote speaker. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief Penn. Now let's take a moment to introduce our amazing full-time training staff. These individuals are dedicated to making sure our agency thrives by developing and educating our personnel. They're the superheroes behind the scenes, juggling countless projects and programs, all while providing steadfast support to both our recruits and veteran officers. They often start their day before the sun rises with physical training and work late into the evening. This incredible team pours their hearts into molding our recruits into a cohesive unit, preparing them to join the ranks of the Winston-Salem's finest. Let's give a huge round of applause for our phenomenal training staff. Please stand and remain standing when your name is called. Assistant Chief Rick Newnham, Captain Renee Melly. This is both their final graduations here before retirement, so an extra round of applause for both of them. Lieutenant Jeffrey Thompson, Sergeant Jason Bryant, Sergeant Stuart Sloan, Sergeant Aaron Perkins, Sergeant Logan Collier, Police Officer Brian Streetman, Axon Coordinator Donna Brown, Training Coordinator Megan James, Senior Office Assistant Ms. Barbara Williams. Please join me in giving these individuals a well-deserved round of applause. Becoming a police officer isn't easy, and not everyone makes the cut. But thanks to the fantastic individuals in our recruiting division and human resources, we've got the best of the best here today. These WSPD family members sifted through countless applications to assemble the elite group that makes up Class 79. If you're a member of the recruiting division or the human resources personnel who assisted in the application or selection process for these recruits, please stand and remain standing when your name is called. Assistant Chief Rick Newnham, Captain Renee Melly, Lieutenant Jeffrey Thompson, Sergeant Kayla Carlton, Corporal Chris Stabb, Master Police Officer Flo Gregory Phillips, Master Police Officer Laverne Pringle, Recruiting Coordinator Christina Stoltz, retired police officers Robert Boyd, Jimmy Boyd, Jeff Branham, James Johnson, Lyman Clark, David Lamb, Vince Stevens, Debbie Wilkins. Let's give them a big round of applause for their hard work. I'll ask now that all instructors that assisted in any of the academy instruction and the graduating officers, field training officers, please stand and remain standing. Perfect. Did you know? Did you know that more than 100 state certified instructors from the WSPD and Forsyth Tech played a part in training our recruits? These incredible individuals provided over 1,000 hours of top-notch instruction, showcasing their dedication and professionalism. Now let's give a special shout out to the individuals of our post-academy training program, the field training officers, or as we like to call them, FTOs. These FTOs wear two hats, patrol officer and trainer. They guide our new officers, building on their academy education and molding them into professional, productive members of the WSPD. Please join me in thanking all of our academy instructors and field training officers. Let's give them one big round of applause. Now it's time for a tradition at Academy graduation. One of our recruits will deliver the graduation speech on behalf of Class 79. The recruits voted to have one of their own represent the entire class with this special speech. The recruit representing and delivering the graduation speech for Class 79 is recruit Andrew Hassler.
I have the honor of being selected by my classmates to speak today. But before I go any further, I want to thank the mayor and the city council for their support of this department. To be effective at our job, the police need the support of the community they serve, and that starts with you. Thank you. I want to next thank Chief Penn and the members of the command staff. Every one of you has taken time from your schedule to instruct us and help mold us into the officers you expect us to be. Sergeant Bryant, Sergeant Perkins, Officer Streetman, I cannot begin to explain the impact each of you has had on every member of this class. The lessons imparted to us, the changes, physical and mental, you have molded in us, and the confidence you have instilled in us will stay with us for the rest of our lives. I hope that each and every one of us can live up to the officers you know we are capable of becoming. The number of individuals, both sworn and non-sworn, who have contributed to our success in getting here today is too high to name them all. It is truly inspiring to see so many people willing to commit their time and talent to make us better. Thank you all. Class 79, today is that day of days, a day that has been marked on the whiteboard of our classroom for a long time. We're a large class, starting out with 33 and ending with 27. We have members from many different places. A couple of Yankees like myself came down from up north. A Cuban came up from Miami. A lot of us are from right here in Winston-Salem. We have different backgrounds, from professional sports and CrossFit to construction and IT. We even stole a firefighter and made him wear blue instead of red. But we all have one thing in common. We're committed to becoming a part of the team that protects, serves, and supports this community. 79, we've come a long way. From feeling queasy on that first run to PSC to completing the 7-mile lake run with a smile on our face, at least when it was over. From having never shot a gun to hitting a target at 100 yards with our service pistol, and from fresh-faced stink bugs flying around Sergeant Bryant's hallway to confident graduates, many with excellent mustaches. We have learned how to polish our boots without setting them on fire, how to drive a fixed radius curve without crashing through the fence, and how to hide a crocodile on a crash report. We have made many mistakes along the way. We've shown up late, not had our uniforms in order, forgotten equipment, left our car unlocked or gear unsecured. The training staff made sure that each mistake was corrected with a lesson. Many of these lessons were physical in nature. Wall sits, planks, flutter kicks, and log carries, all serve to reinforce the points that the training staff was instilling in us. Attention to detail is crucial. If you're not early, you're late. Do not cut corners, whether it's in classwork or jogging around the tennis courts after a long run. How you do one thing is how you do everything. These PT sessions were not without motivation. We would hear motivational quotes, such as, burpees are not that hard. All you have to do is fall down and get back up. Or if you're gonna die, do it in the grass. When people spend as much time around each other as we have, you learn things about each other. Some of these things are minor, like how much Long likes Gushers. Other things are surprising, like finding out that Morset already played a cop in Terminator 2. You also start to become more of a family than a class. Like most families, the members can get annoyed with each other and argue. But at the end of the day, you know that when you need backup, your brother or sister in blue is going to be driving at Mach 2 with their hair on fire, with due regard, of course, to get to you when you need them most. Many of the bonds we have formed during this class will last a lifetime. The profession we have chosen is a noble one, and it will demand much from us physically, mentally, and emotionally. Our support systems will have a huge impact on our ability to do this job daily and our longevity in this profession. 79, be there for your squad mates in the same way we have been there for each other throughout this entire academy. Friends and family members of the class of 79, your support means the world to us. We know that you have all sacrificed in numerous ways to ensure that we could excel in this academy and in this career. We cannot thank you enough. Every week, a recruit had to speak on words that pertain to law enforcement. Words like honor, integrity, and justice. My class speech a few weeks ago was on the word service. In it, I quoted Muhammad Ali saying, "The service you do for others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." I challenge myself and my classmates to pay that rent every day we do this job. I reissue that challenge now. What we do in life echoes in eternity. Captain Melly instilled in us during runs that you always finish stronger than you start. Thinking back to week 1, we have certainly finished the academy stronger than we started. Sergeant Bryant has ensured that we always leave a place better than we found it. Now, that place is our city. 79, as Chief Penn has reminded us every week, today is the most important day of our career until tomorrow.
Thank you, Recruit Hassler. Traditionally, the Winston-Salem Police Department presents special awards during graduation to members of each class who have distinguished themselves during the academy training. Today, we present 3 awards to members of Class 79. They are as follows: the Vivian H. Burke Character Award, the Honor Graduate Award, and our highest award, the Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Jr. Colleague Award. We'll begin with the Vivian H. Burke Character Award presented by our City Manager, Patrick Pate. Mr. Patrick Pate oversees the day-to-day operation and delivery of services by our city by more than 2,400 city employees. Please welcome our City Manager, Mr. Pate.
Thank you and good morning. I'm going to talk about character for a moment. The dictionary defines character as the attributes and ethical traits that distinguish a person. In essence, character is revealed by what a person does, even when, or especially when, no one is looking. Each of you have shown the character to be a public safety police officer for the city of Winston-Salem. Congratulations on achieving that feat. That is no small feat, and we look forward to seeing you maintain that character through your entire career. I will say that I have been to many a police retirement, quite a few graduations as this as well. At those retirements, you always come back to talking about those folks that you are sitting around right now that you went through recruit school with. Your training officers often come into that class, but these folks that you're sitting with will be with you for a career, and that's a great thing to remember. The Vivian H. Burke Character Award is named in honor of the late Mayor Pro Tem and Council Member of the Northwest Ward, Vivian H. Burke. She served as chairman of the Public Safety Committee for 36 years. Elected first in 1977, she dedicated 43 years to public service, becoming the longest-serving elected official in our city history when she passed away in 2020. This award is presented to the recruit in each police and fire training class who best exemplifies integrity, ethical behavior, and team-building abilities, the true hallmarks of strong character. For Class 79, one recruit stood out in embodying these qualities. It is my pleasure to announce that the recipient of the Burke Character Award for Class 79 is recruit Andrew Hasler.
The Honor Graduate Award will be presented by Assistant Chief Richard Newnham.
Good morning, everyone. 79, congratulations. I just want to take a moment, a look around the room. All the sworn that are here today, thank you very much for supporting our BLET program. I see numerous retirees. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot. I'd like to welcome Beth Hutchins to the stage. Beth is the wife of Mickey Hutchins, a dear friend to many of us and a mentor to myself.
Congratulations, Class 79. And congratulations to all you family members that had to support them through the last 6 months as there was extra tests to study for, sore muscles from running too far, and just a lot of overload. I appreciate all that you put into them becoming police officers. Class 13 was a long time ago. My husband was a member of Class 13, and he won the Honor Award. It takes a lot for some people to even have to go back to learn to study again because they're not as young as some of the others are. But I was very disappointed that his little award was about this big and his name was misspelled. So I felt like you needed something to show that you worked so hard. So our family would like to present an Eagle Award so that the award can be shown on your desk as you make rank, and maybe eventually it'll be in the corner office there at 725 North Cherry Street.
Thank you, Beth. Entrance level training for Class 79 police officer trainees consisted of more than 1,174 hours of law enforcement training in 36 different subjects that required a written exam and in some subjects a practical application exam. The Honor Graduate Award is presented each year to that trainee who has the highest academic grade average overall. The Honor Graduate for Police Academy Class 79 completed the training with a 97.12 grade point average. The Honor Graduate Award goes to recruit Thomas Heidenreich.
Thank you, Assistant Chief Newnham. Miss Tice, would you please join us on stage at this time? Now for the highest award an Academy member can receive. This award is one that each officer present here today is familiar with and cherishes as a symbol and reminder of the great price members of this profession might be asked to pay for the privilege of serving in law enforcement. Assistant Chief Richard Newnham and Tanya Tice will now present the Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Jr. Colleague Award.
Let us all pause for a moment of silence to remember Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice, Jr. Thank you. The Lieutenant Aaron Jerome Tice, Jr. Colleague Award. If you were to ask a community what qualities they desire in their police officers, you would likely hear words like honest, hardworking, competent, and professional. If you ask the same question to police department employees, you would hear the same words, along with courageous, strong, trustworthy, and dependable. The Colleague Award is named in honor of Aaron Jerome Tice, Jr., who joined the Winston-Salem Police Department in October 3rd, 1968, as a police officer. Throughout his remarkable career, Lieutenant Tice served in the Patrol Division. He was a detective, vice and narcotics, and the Training Division. He was mild-mannered, well-loved, and highly respected by all who knew him. Tragically, while serving as field commander in the Patrol Division during the early hours of June 26, 1992, Lieutenant Tice was killed while assisting officers in an investigation of a stolen vehicle. His physical absence is deeply felt, but his spiritual presence continues to inspire us. A few weeks before each recruit class graduation, the members of the class are asked to vote for one of their peers who best exemplifies the qualities we hold dear in our profession. For Class 79, one individual stood out among the rest. We are honored to have Miss Tanya Tice, the wife of Lieutenant Tice, with us today to help present this award. The WSPD is grateful for her unwavering support of our BLET program. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Tice to present the Colleague Award. Thank you so much. Thank you. The Lieutenant Aaron Jerome Tice Jr. Colleague Award for Class 79 is presented to recruit Eve Montgomery. It should be noted that Eve is also Class 79 class president. Great, thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Eve. Good job. Thank you.
Traditionally, there are only 3 honors awarded to members of a BLET Academy. This year, however, we have a special presentation for 2 recruits who use their training and knowledge learned in the BLET program to make a difference. I now invite Captain Renee Melly to the podium to present the next award. So I'll give her a round of applause.
Good morning. It is my absolute honor and privilege to be standing before you today to present this award. An above and beyond award commendation is presented to any police department employee for outstanding and commendable performance well above and beyond what is expected of them. On August 18th, 2024, recruits Roberto Rodriguez Blanco and Gabriel Tercios were off duty attending a concert in Charlotte, North Carolina. At the conclusion of the concert, they were returning to their vehicles when a shooting occurred in the parking lot of the venue. Recruits Rodriguez, Blanco, and Tercios observed the victim on the ground suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. Recruits Rodriguez, Blanco, and Tercios utilized their BLET training and immediately rendered aid, which included assessing the victim and locating an entrance wound in the victim's upper right leg. Recruit Rodriguez, Blanco swiftly removed his belt and used it as a makeshift tourniquet, while Recruit Tercios applied direct pressure to the wound itself to stop the bleeding. EMS arrived a short time later and transported the victim to the hospital, where he ultimately survived his injuries. The quick thinking and decisive actions of Recruits Rodriguez, Blanco, and Tercios demonstrated their unwavering commitment to their training and a true desire to protect and serve members of the community. Recruit Rodriguez, Blanco, and Recruit Tercios, will you please join me on the stage to receive your Above and Beyond Award?
I now have the honor of introducing our Chief of Police and my boss, Chief William H. Penn Jr., who is a 26-year or 27-year veteran, I believe now, of the Winston-Salem Police Department. He is a proud Winston-Salem native, having grown up on the city's east side. He began his career with the Winston-Salem Police Department in 1997 and has worked his way through the ranks until his most recent promotion to Chief of Police in January of 2023. Serving in various capacities throughout the department. Chief Penn is active in the community service through Boy Scouts, HBCU Living Legends, Habitat for Humanity, and YMCA of Northwest NC. In addition, he is an inductee into Carver High School's Hall of Fame, was honored by the NWOA's Profile of Prominence, and is a recipient of the Trailblazer Award by the Triad Minority and Women's Business Expo. He graduated from UNCG, where he received a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration. Chief Penn continued his education at WSSU, earning a master's degree in Business Administration. It is now time for Chief William H. Penn Jr. to come to the podium and start the presentation of certificates and badges.
Good morning. If you couldn't tell, I'm excited today. And there's a reason for it. I know the family, friends are excited today. This community is excited today. This profession is excited today. This country is excited today because 27 people said, I'm not going to talk about making the world a better place anymore. I'm done talking. They said, I'm going to make it happen. So today, 27 people will join the ranks and do their part to make our community better. That's a big deal. Let's give them a hand. I also want to add, you've seen that our elected officials are here and have your back. You've seen that our senior city staff is here and has your back. You've seen that our business community is here and has your back. You've seen that other partners in crime fighting are here and have your back. You know that our public safety partners are here and have your back. A couple more people I need to stand up. Current WSPD employees, please stand. Retired WSPD employees, please stand. And our Winston-Salem Police Foundation partners, please stand. Thank you. They're here because they're saying they support you as well, and they're invested in you. And last but not least, Sergeant Sloan, please stand. Captain Melly, please stand. Chief Noonan, please stand. Wilson Weaver, please stand. Unless you choose to stay, these folks, this is their last class. So let's give them a hand, because over 150 years of serving this community, you're standing right here. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. All right, y'all might not believe this, but I actually have a script, so now I got to get back to the script. Sergeant Bryant, yes, front and center. Sergeant Bryant, as the duly appointed Basic Law Enforcement Training Sergeant for the Winston-Salem Police Department, do you personally certify that the students of Class 79 of the Winston-Salem Police Department Academy have met all school requirements and regulations and have successfully completed all courses and activities that comprise the police basic law enforcement training?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Bryant, having provided assurances that the members of Class 79 of the Winston-Salem Police Academy have met all requirements which entitle them to receive a certificate signifying successful completion of the Winston-Salem Police Department's prescribed training program, please present these students for graduation, the receipt of their certificates, and the badges of their office.
Yes, sir. Attention.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a cherished tradition at our Academy graduation that as I call the name of each recruit, they will come forward to receive their certificate and be congratulated by the dignitaries on stage. Additionally, each member of Class 79 has chosen someone special to share in the honor, presenting them with their badge of office and pinning it on them for the very first time. This badge is more than just a symbol. It represents public faith and trust. It obligates those who wear it to uphold the highest standards of personal and professional conduct far beyond the expectations of the citizens they serve. Class 79, you are fully aware that not everyone can earn this badge. Be proud of your accomplishments and always honor the badge you are about to receive. At this time, I would like to invite the friends and family members selected to pin the badge to move to the front right side of the room near the backdrop and wait for your officer to arrive. To maintain the dignity of this ceremony, please hold your applause until all graduates have recited the oath of office. I will now call each recruit forward. Jamila Alamin. Miguel Ayala Amaya. Matthew Baldwin. Jonathan Ball. Hunter Cherney. Corey Gamble. Thomas Gillum III. Andrew Hassler. He has a big fan back there if you see her standing up. He also welcomed another daughter in the middle of the academy, so round of applause for that. Thomas Heidenreich. Zachary Long. Edie Marine Salinas. Tyler Merritt. Class 79's class president, Alexandra Montgomery. Richard Morissette. Damali Perez Reyes. Caitlin Ray. Fidencio Razo Mendez. Owen Reuter. Roberto Rodriguez Blanco. Lee Sharam. Walton Stanton. Carson Taylor. Gabriel Tercios. Jonathan Van Treese. Luigi Vasquez Tercios. Andrew Whaley. Last but certainly not least is Christopher Williams.
At the risk of making you even more impressed with this agency and this class, I think it's imperative to note that we have two legacies in this class. So retired Sergeant Tim Taylor, will you stand up? Retired Sergeant Mickey Merritt, will you please stand up? So what this says is that their very most precious gifts, once they retired here, they send them back to us because they know the type of agency and they know we're going to take care of them. So that's a big deal. Thank you. Thank you for trusting us.
I will now call forward the Clerk of Superior Court, Denise Hines, to administer the oath of office.
Okay, recruits, please retrieve your Bibles. So as I state the oath, I'm going to say I. You are to repeat your names individually. After everyone has repeated his or her name, I will begin the oath. When we get to the part that says I solemnly swear, you may also say affirm. Any questions? Okay. I For those who haven't already, place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. There you go. Okay. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will be alert and vigilant to enforce the criminal laws of this state, that I will not be influenced in any manner on account of personal bias or prejudice, that I will support and maintain the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and execute the duties of my office as a law enforcement officer according to the best of my skill, abilities, and judgment. So help me God. Thank you, Class of 79, for your willingness to serve our community, and congratulations on completing the requirements of basic law enforcement training. You may place your hands down.
We have one more thing to do, but I can see the sigh of relief on all their faces for the first time in 7 months, so I'm excited. So Class 79, today marks your official entry into an elite group of highly trained police officers entrusted by both the public and the government with upholding the highest standards of conduct. These standards, known as the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, can be found in today's program on page 14. I invite everyone in the audience to follow along as our new police officers, alongside all sworn law enforcement personnel here today, recite the code together. We'll be led by Assistant Chief Wilson the Weaver II.
Good morning, and thank you all for gathering with us here today on this wonderful occasion. BLET Class 79, all sworn North Carolina certified law enforcement officers, please stand and recite with me the North Carolina Criminal Justice Education and Training Standards Commission Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others, honest in thought and deed. In both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with relentless persecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, law enforcement. Class 79, congratulations on your ascension to Patrol Division. Let's go out. Let's secure the well-being and hope of our community. Thank you.
We ask that you please remain seated while our guests, the new graduates, and veteran officers with the Winston-Salem Police Department exit the room. Thank you for coming, and please join the recruits and staff in the foyer to offer your congratulations. Photographers from our department will remain here for the next 30 minutes to 1 hour for family and officer photographs. Corporal Looper, raise your hand. He's right there. And Sergeant Caffey is over here, so find one of them and we can take some photos. One last round of applause for Class 79. Sergeant Bryant, please dismiss the class for one final time.